So somebody went ahead and spent $3 million buying a graded Black Lotus. We got to talk about this. Apparently somebody has spent $3 million buying an Alpha Black Lotus graded CGC Pristine 10. The question really shouldn't be, is it worth $3 million? The question is, did the sale happen at all? Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. A reminder, guys, if you want to see more of the Moxman, more of this, all you gotta do is like and subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bells, and you'll get new content coming at you every day, whether you like it or not, because you're subscribed. You'll just see it pop up. Turn on that notification bell. You won't miss me. Guys, when you've probably seen this, this came up the other day. Here it is. Oh, $3 million. Oh, $3 million. And yes, $3 million. Covering over the Moxman's ugly mug so you guys can take a look at that amazing $3 million sale. Now, take a close look at that, okay? There's a lot going on inside what you've just seen. A lot more than people like to think about, but it is what happens in marketing. The question really isn't, did that $3 million sale happen? It could have happened. But either way, it's publicity. And that's what makes me a skeptic on stuff like this. When we had that Wada Games thing a couple of years ago, I haven't heard anything about that since like 2021, 2022, during COVID, where all those video game shenanigans were going on, where people would buy the video games, grade them, and sell them worth 10x the money. And then it turned out there was like hundreds of copies of this stuff available, and the whole bottom fell out. All kinds of like suspicious stuff, shill bidding, crazy stuff, okay? Now you have this Black Lotus. Selling or not selling, I don't care. It promotes CGC, because that's what you see in the promotional ad, okay? You get to see, hey, you guys should be grading with CGC. Look what they just sold, a $3 million card. Okay, that's huge, right? That's massive. So on one side of the Moxman's brain, I will immediately start thinking, really? $3 million? Because the last I looked, I can shop around right now, and you can find Black Lotuses everywhere, graded, ungraded copies, I don't care. Take a look. You can get the 30th anniversary, if that's the way you want to go with fakes, proxy type cards. You can look for unlimiteds for like $13,000. You can get a graded copy of a BGS 8 for like $40K. There are lots of copies available that sell each and every day, okay? Every single day, you can find some kind of sale somewhere within that week of a Black Lotus selling. Here's the actual breaking news they put up on MTG stock saying, hey man, check this out, breaking news. And of course they're promoting it, they're putting it up there. It is a news article of interest, okay? I get that. So now you have Black Lotus being mentioned. That's good for the reserve list, good for people to realize that these cards are worth buco bucks. They're worth huge stuff. Yes, the Black Lotus is limited to where it can be played nowadays. You're not going to be finding that in the Commander deck anytime soon. Maybe a Jeweled Lotus, right? Knockoffs. But the idea that you are bringing attention to the reserve list can get a lot of people excited. A lot of people who've collected a lot of high-value cards like to see things like this happen. CGC likes to see it. People who own these cards in stores like to see it. Now here's the thing. If you wanted to go ahead and look, I can go right now to face here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Canadian dollars, Black Lotus, see the description, right? You want to take a look at the card and stuff, but it's 80 grand Canadian. You have to knock off like 30% of that to get the US price. That's for an Alpha Black Lotus here in Ontario, Canada. No, it's not graded Pristine 10, and I get it. That just magically adds so much value. Now, I know of Black Lotuses that have gone for over $1 million. I've seen it, BGS ones and stuff. I've seen that. It was a big thing a few years ago. The question isn't why somebody would spend the money. It's really if it happened. In my eyes, when I look at stuff like this, and I see what the Black Lotus is actually selling for, and where the market is, the niche market of players who might be able to afford a card like that. This is like that whole Post Malone thing with the one-of-one ring type style stuff, where that, you know, went for huge money because it is literally one of one. Plus, I guess there's some artist-proof copies probably somewhere, right? But either way, it's interesting to see this stuff come to light. There's lots of parts of me that are excited for it, in case it actually happened, to realize that somebody out there could have spent $3 million. But honestly, in my opinion, I don't think they did. I haven't seen a bill of sale. I haven't seen transactional sheets that tell me it happened. And again, I'm not going to see those because they said it's an anonymous buyer. So you'll never really know. And after that Wada Games thing happened, it put a lot of skeptics out there. Because we know right now the secondary market of Magic, for any reserve list and power cards, and I focus on this stuff all the time, guys. I follow the sales. You watch my top 10 reserve list videos, I got my ear down to the ground like 24/7 trying to track down everything from Facebook groups to secondary market values to under the table stuff for cash just to see if I can find out where things are moving. So I can see how the shuffleboard is changing each and every day. I'm not saying that sale didn't happen, but in my opinion, it leaves a lot of information out of what actually happened. You got one person saying it sold. That's it. We don't know if actually $3 million changed hands. And that's the thing. So for me, I wouldn't get your ideas and hopes real high that this is what they're worth, because they're not. And I'm a collector of Magic, and I love these cards. The sales I showed you is what they're selling for. That $80,000 Black Lotus has been at face-to-face for over a year. Now I know it's not graded copy, but why would a player care about that graded copy? To get the 10? Maybe there is a niche market for that. Let's reason this out. There may be a very small select market of players who may desire that card. Would they pay $3 million for it? Well, you compare it against other collectibles in the hockey area, baseball, really old collectible type things. Maybe. I still think we're going to see these things end up in museums at some point. I mean, cardboard does not hold up forever. Magic cards were probably meant to last a few years. Yeah, we've taken care of them, but the disintegration rate of paper over the next 100 years, there's going to be a lot less of these things around. So yeah, I think they'll end up in museums. And I think one day, these cards could be worth those high-end values, and it may be a piece of real iconic pop culture art. Sorry, brain had a meltdown there for a second. Nuclear reactors back online. We're moving forward. So I can see how it could become a big thing, but at this time, at this stage, in this market, somebody paid $3 million for that? I would need so much more information. So if you're the person who bought this, feel free to email me. I'm very good about keeping things confidential, but I would need so much more information to confirm that this sale happened than what we got in a couple of news headlines, a few posts and retweets. It's not enough. It's not enough to actually say that that thing happened. But here's the thing it is enough for. It is enough to get people excited, to get people talking about graded cards, reserve list cards, Power 9 cards. It definitely starts that conversation because I saw a lot of people talking about it. I saw a lot of people having those discussions and saying which graded companies are good and which ones are bad. It's funny how that CGC name came up. I've got comics graded here by CGC right in the background. And now the name pops up. And now people are talking about who they send their grading to. Now the discussion has started, the wheel rolling, about which companies you trust. Interesting, right? Nobody's talking about the $3 million card now. They first few threads of a Reddit board start out that way, and then it changes the conversation. The broken telephone goes to a whole different topic. And that topic is which company you trust. And that is something that I think these companies want. Which means all you have to do is do a big sale like that. Say it traded hands, but really it didn't, and you still get the same effect. You can put that information out, have people know, and now become aware that this big sale happened. And it could have happened. I'm not saying it didn't. In my opinion, it didn't, but it really could have. And now you get people talking about your company. You get people talking about grading cards again because a lot of grading has really slowed down. The market is not rebounded. People are not buying old fancy Magic cards to slab them. They are buying them to play them, which is why those beat up Black Lotuses are selling. Because the people playing old school Magic do want to get a hands on a Black Lotus, whether it's collector edition, unlimited, beta, or alpha. Those are the ones that, they'll buy. And they will play with them if they get the chance. They don't want a slab copy. They want to be able to play with it because it's a game. So I don't see the market for slab being a really big thing. Although I have owned these cards in my collection, I will hold on to the slabbed copies I have. A lot of players I know who are buying old school cards are playing with them, not displaying them on a shelf, not hiding them in a safety deposit box, and not in the Rudy Vault. So what really happened, as far as I'm concerned, I'll never know. But I think you need to be a little bit skeptical when you see these kind of sales happen and this kind of promotion coming forward where a lot of people lend out and say, hey, this just happened. Did you see? Did you know? Were you aware? Sit back for a minute and ask yourself why a sale like that would happen now. Why that conversation would happen now. And who benefits from that going on? Because right now, all these cards have been falling in value for a very long time. And it allows players, true players, to pick up these cards and buy them. It allows the collectors who do want to finish off collections to get in there and buy the cards they're looking for, especially beat up copies. And it does leave a lot of people hanging who paid top dollar. It does. So who does it benefit? Who comes out ahead with something like that going out to the universe to be known? It's fascinating, that's all. Anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out. Thanks for being here on the channel. Don't forget, guys, like and subscribe. You can check out Face-to-Face Games for that $80,000 Black Lotus. Take a look at the pictures, see what you think. Maybe you guys can come up with some cash, buy that card. Or maybe you'll just spend $16,000 and go buy a heavily played Unlimited from a place like 401 Games. The cards exist. They are available. $3 million just because somebody says it's a perfect 10 seems like a lot of money to pay in an industry that's still kind of fledgling compared to the big world around us. Thanks again for hanging out, guys. Thanks for being here on the channel. Slap some comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think, okay? All right, cheers, everyone. Hey guys, here we are back again for a big shout out, a thank you to all the fantastic patrons we have here on the channel supporting each and every day. Because of these patrons, we're putting out content all the time. Because of the patrons, the YouTube membership members, and the viewers, we've got the support we need to make sure content comes flying at you. So thanks again everyone for supporting this channel. I will see you tomorrow with another video. Alright, welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. Apparently, hold on, I'll be right back, okay? Hold on. Okay, sorry, forgot my coffee. I know, I gotta have my coffee. Ramble Jamble! Ramble Jamble! Guys, I'm very, very skeptical that this sale actually occurred. We know from shill bidding, from Heritage and all that stuff that happened during the WATA games. I took a lot of that information down. I kept that stuff out there. Even that stuff on Pawn Stars, where the guy pretended not to know the other guy and said how much it was valued at. And then a whole bunch of people went wild and the FOMO got created. People bought into it. A few people got rich. Lots of people got poor. And all kinds of uninformed people lost a lot of money. And this could happen again even in Magic. We could have another boom where people go out and buy all kinds of crazy cards to grade them, to slab them, buy reserve list cards when really there's not a need for them right now. Wizards has to create cards that really create that desirability for these cards to have true value in the long term of the game. They have to be utilized all the time. Now, I love all the Magic cards out there. I love the reserve list, and I think there's lots of cards that are underutilized, underappreciated in certain decks, and I've messed up a lot of people. From everything from Chaos Sphere to Hall of Gemstone, there's crazy stuff out there that's really cheap and affordable. I'd like to keep it that way for a while, and I don't think we need a FOMO event right now to make that all happen. When I look at what a Black Lotus sells for, and I record a lot of sales, guys, even the ones that don't make the top 10, I know what's going on in the market. And I'm telling you, it's too high. It's too high. There's no justification for a price like that in this market. So we'll see what comes of it. Hopefully this serves as a bit of an educational tool for people out there. And thanks again for hanging out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Shoot any questions. If you have actual questions, you can go ahead and email me. Hit me up in the Discord if you're a patron. And I'll help you guys out, okay? Thanks again. Have a great one!